Welcome to the Dorm Podcast with Lance.
And Carla.
Yun. So, ilang episodes na tayo and let me introduce our guest for tonight or today, si Carla Yu. So, friend siya ni Charlene but at the same time, she is a very interesting person. Alam niyo naman dito na yung mga in-interview namin ay yung mga people we find really interesting sa circle of friends namin ni na AJ, ni na Charlene. And ayun nga, si Carla, I think si Carla is a global citizen eh.
Okay.
And she is she's a jack of many trades and she is also a renaissance woman, I think.
Ano yung keywords?
Wala siya sa walang kodigo eh. So invento ko lang
Ano
lahat.
sabi sa ChatGPT?
Walang ChatGPT to. Iba yung sinabi ni ChatGPT eh. Tapos sinabi niya, today's guest is Carla Yu, a Filipina policy analyst turned global citizen. After working at NEDA, she took a leap and studied her master's at NUS. O, di ba? Talino niya. And now she's building a life in China.
Okay.
She's also a vegan, a musician, and someone who's redefining what it means to be a modern Filipina
Wow.
abroad.
Okay, sabi mo eh. Sabi ni chat eh.
This episode is about courage, culture, and carving your own path. O, di ba? Ang galing
Wow,
mag-introduce ni ChatGPT. So, ayun. First question siguro, nag-dorm ka na ba before?
No.
Oh.
Parang uwian ako nun. So,
Oo.
parehas na yung Lasal. Actually, we were there at the same time.
2010.
2010. But uwian ako nun.
Oh,
On my last year, siguro ako nag-condo sa Manila Res. And then,
saan ka
1
nga
year.
pala lumaki during your childhood?
we were just talking about this earlier. Diba? Parang Manila girl talaga ako ever since. Sa Onyx Street. Dyan.
Onyx Street?
And then, balipat-lipat kami because of my parents' business. So, nakatira kaming Sukat, Parañaque, until kami, Binyan, Laguna. Binyan, Laguna, Santa Rosa, Laguna, and then nagsilang Cavite pa kami.
Oh.
And then, ultimately, I went back to Manila for college sa Lasal.
Yun ba yung isa sa reason bakit sanay ka na nagta-travel ka from one place to another? And parang pansin ko kasi, knowing you, comfy ka na nasa uncomfortable places na bago ka lang doon, pero you feel at home.
Alam mo, ngayon ko lang na-realize din yan. So, therapy session pala. It's from my childhood nga, no? Baka may iba. Based on my childhood, baka kaya, I seek out those kinds of situations where I'm uncomfortable. Pero, I guess so. Walang, I would describe it na hindi ako masyadong rooted in anywhere. Like, floating around, I feel comfortable doing that. Kasi, yeah.
Baka yan yung sabi ni ChatGPT na global citizen.
Baka nga.
Kasi sinabi ko yung yung mga naging places mo. Tapos yun yung generate niya, global citizen.
Yun yung conclusion niya. In fairness, free therapy pala dito sa Dorm Podcast.
Free therapy. So, I
May
think
deep dive into your childhood.
sa point na to, I think nasa episode 30 plus na na yung Dorm Podcast eh. So, very diverse. So, dati yung mga guests namin, lawyers like me, tapos mga freelancer. Ngayon, parang freelancer in terms of location. Parang
I guess so.
So, ano yung, siguro, parang free-flowing yung feel ko may ADHD ako eh. So, yung mga topics ko, ganon. So,
Okay lang. I think that's how, parang conversations between friends go.
parang may outline siya, pero, pag meron ako na pick up na topic, nandun na tayo.
Okay.
Go
lang.
Like, halimbawa, ano yung feeling na, lagi kang, yung nasa unknown ka, na halimbawa sanay ka sa gantong CR or sa bed mo pero after a few days or weeks nasa ibang lugar ka na, how do you cope or adjust?
Alam mo, sobrang actually interesting siya for me that you pointed that out. Kasi hindi ganun yung pagtingin ko sa sarili ko eh.
Oo.
I feel like I'm a person of habit, creature of habit. I'm a person na may routine ako, may set ako na routine that I like doing the same things over and over again. I like eating the same food over and over again. Kasi I think it simplifies things for me. Pero siguro, if zoom out mo yung life ko, oo nga no, maraming ang mga moments na parang I always change location, I change yung situation ko and all. And ano siya, definitely huge adjustment period. And may period na ano ako, parang I get really uncomfortable. But I think as I find my way through my old habits, my old routine, tas nahanap ko yung parang replacement niya in that specific location, may stabilization period. And then, I find myself able to do more things and venture out to do other activities from there.
Parang basis sa sinabi mo, yung naging home mo is not a physical place, but yourself mismo.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yung mga bagay na you take comfort in doing every single day. For example, I'm a gym, I go to the gym religiously. So, pag nasa isang location ako, I always try to find my home gym. So, ayun, kung wala akong gym or some sort of like physical activity, I feel really uncomfortable. Pero pag meron na akong routine na ito yung gagawin ko everyday, pupunta ako sa gym na ito everyday, it makes me feel more parang set in my way. So, I do the same things, maybe just in different locations, or I just find some sort of replacement for it. But essentially, it's all the same things.
Oo nga, no? Kasi ngayon meron namang gym kahit saan, may McDo or convenience. Ay, hindi ka no? Hindi ka pa-fast food eh. Oh.
I cook my own food mostly. Ayun.
Oh. Tapos, paano yun, di ba, sabi mo, nagiging routine yung place, nakakahanap ka ng routine. Paano yung pag-adjust in terms of the people you meet? Kasi laging, syempre, pag nasa new place ka, new set of people din. Di ba?
Yeah, ayun yung, I think, isa sa mga pinaka-challenging thing. And people always doubt it when I tell them, actually, introverted ako na person. Parang, totoo ba yan? But I think because of the situation, the circumstances that I found myself in, I was forced to develop this kind of, parang ambiversion.
Ambivert, yan.
To be ambivert na, you need to be social. You need to be able to read people and be able to interact with them. And at this point, ang dami ko like I stayed in Philippines, diba? Tapos nag-Singapore ako, and then nagstay rin ako sa Korea for some time, and then nagstay ako sa China. So, you need to find, I needed to find a version of me that I can parang iharap sa maraming ibang tao. And then, but at the end of the day, I still retreat into that version of myself na ayoko makipag-interact, na ubusan ako ng social battery. Yeah.
Oh, so feel ko pareho tayo eh, yung parang ako as an introvert, mahilig ako mag-socialize, pero at the end of the day, parang pagod. Ganun ba yung nafe-feel mo?
Yeah.
Yung parang kailangan mag-recharge ng ilang...
Yeah, so I can spend days at a time na wala akong kanakausap.
Pero kaya mo rin yung days at a time na everyday meron kang ka-socialize, ganun.
Nakakapagod siya. So, pinipace ko talaga. So, in a day, siguro kaya ko gawin yun. Like, marami akong in-interact within a day. Pero, kinabukasan, wala na akong imi-meet. Ganun.
Oh. So, going back to college, so nag-dorm, hindi ka nag-dorm, di ba?
Nag-condo ako.
Nag-condo ka. Nagkaroon na ba ng parang foreshadowing na magiging well-traveled person ka nung nasa college ka?
Nung college ako, pinaka-active ko na school activity at the time was debate. And I think it required us to travel a lot. So doon ako, yung first out of the country trip ko was for a debate competition. Tapos, ayun, kung saan kami napapadpad. And then I think because of that exposure, nagkaroon ako ng desire to do more of it. And I don't know kung foreshadowing yun or whatever, but I've always wanted to like go out and see the world, not stay in one place. Ayun, and then it just helped me siguro find the means of doing that. Parang for whatever reason, it could be for the competition, for leisure, for work, for education or something.
Kaya, okay. So, sabi mo debate ka. Kaya ba comfy ka na mag-confront ng kahit ibang strangers
I don't know, chicken and egg question siguro yan eh.
Baka sumali ka ng debate kasi comfy ka
Kasi
sa...
comfy ako. Or, yeah, but definitely reinforcing rin siya, factor. Na, kumbaga, meron kang inclination. But if you subject yourself to an environment that cultivates that inclination, mas siya, mai-enrich.
Parang may safe
Yung
space
character na yun.
to speak your mind sa debate, yun.
Yeah, I suppose so. Or parang yung environment is, you need to always examine critically the positions from both sides, from different angles. And it helps you examine your own beliefs and your own ways of thinking as well.
Ano ba yung course mo before? Ba't naging debate thingy? Related ba yun sa debate?
I don't think related siya. Kasi ang political science yung ginawa ko nung college. Pero nung high school pa lang ako, I joined this debate competition. And then, nanalo kami. Nung high school.
Sa
So,
nag-high school na
sa
place?
Saint Scholastica.
Dyan lang sa tapat?
Sa West Grove.
West Grove. Okay.
So
Kala ko dyan lang eh.
sa
Nandito
Silang-
kami ngayon sa Saint School.
Yeah. Sa Silang Cavite. So,
Okay.
ayun, may parang mini debate competition kami with like a few other schools. And then nanalo kami. So I was just like, oh, wow. Like, this is something that excites me and I feel like I could be good at it. So, pagdating ko ng college, sabi ko, okay, magde-debate, club.
Yun yung una mong sinalian na org debate?
Yeah.
Okay. Saya. Tapos, so, high school pa pala, nagde-debate ka na, then college. Ba't hindi ka nag-law after?
It was part of the plan.
Okay.
But I think...
Kasi Paul side, di ba? High school, debate ka, debate.
Baka naging classmate pa tayo sana. Di ba Lasal Law, ha?
Oo, Lasal Law.
So, kino-contemplate
Kabatch
ko siya.
ko kasi si Carla eh.
Kino-contemplate ko siya. Like, nung malapit na ako graduate ng college. Kasi, nag-Paul side talaga ako for law school.
Okay.
Parang, yun yung sinasabi
Like
sa akin
all
na...
Paul Sci students?
Yeah. Dapat, actually, ang ko noon, initial, like all, siguro, children, gusto ko mag-doctor. So, ang kinuha kong course, una, ay BS, ano nga ba yun? Biology.
Wait. So, biology ka before sa Lasal? Yung first?
Yung pinasa kong course is BS Human Biology.
Okay.
sa Lasal.
Wow!
Tapos, before
Talino
ako...
pala. Hindi mahirap yun like 7 years.
Talaga ba? I wouldn't know. So, parang, basta, that was my initial inclination. And then, biglang nagbago. Because I was a kid, diba? So, parang gusto ko na mag-law school. So, tinanong ko, anong magandang pre-law course? Poli-sci daw. So, before pa ako pumasok ng Lasal, nag-change course na ako to Pol-Sci.
So, bali, pumasa ka ng human bio, tapos second choice mo Pol-Sci, or in-enroll mo yung available na pre-law?
Hindi, nag-shift ako to Pol-Sci.
Like before enrolling?
Before enrolling, nag-shift ako.
Galing nga.
Apparently, pwede pala yun.
Oo. So, ayun, kung gusto nyo mag-shift before pa mag-start.
Pwede naman
pwede pala yun eh. Pero yung audience ko, 28 to 35 eh.
Okay.
So, baka, sobrang konti lang yung
na lang, in hindsight, pwede palang gawin yun.
In hindsight, pwede pala yung...
Sabihin nyo sa mga, nyo, like, younger brothers or sisters na balak mag-college.
Oo. Tapos, ano yun? So, ano nangyari? Bakit hindi natuloy?
Na mag-law school. I also don't know. Siguro kasi nag-start na rin ako mag-work, tapos hindi siya ganun ka... Parang mas gusto ko na, I was earning money rather than being a student, and then I was enjoying the independence of being able to support myself. So, hindi ko na siya... parang napunta siya sa back of my mind. Although I've always thought of pursuing further studies. Kaya eventually, nag-masters pa din ako.
So, nung student ka, working student ka ba nun?
No.
Okay. So, after college, nakahanap ka agad ng work, tapos nag-enjoy ka, ganun?
Hindi, I wouldn't say nag-enjoy ako sa work. Nag-enjoy ako sa independence that it afforded me. Because I started earning my own money.
Oo nga, no? Pero ngayon sabi mo...
Parang nuance.
Pero sabi mo, di ba, parang, pareho tayo, yung parang nakaka-distract siya sa other hobbies, yung work.
Well, in the long run. Depende rin sa work mo. If it's a 9 to 5 job, obviously, may mga bagay ka na parang hindi mo na i-allocate yung time mo dito. Dito ka na lang.
Pero nung time na yon 9 to 5 yon yung after college mo na work?
Hindi siya masyado 9 to 5 kasi parang research assistant ako nun eh. So, I think ano pa rin siya, like, mas flexible and hindi ganun ka-demanding. And then, saglit lang ako dun sa first role ko na yun. And then I moved to my second role na research assistant pa rin, but it was for a CSO na.
Ano yung CSO?
Civil Society Org, parang policy think tank. And then ako na-expose sa lahat ng advocacy work, legislative action, and iba't ibang issues.
Kung meron kang advocacy, ano yung pinaka-advocacy mo in life?
Yung pinakamahabang in-advocate ko is tax reform.
Tax reform, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, tell me more about tax reform without boring the
Hala, paano ba yun? Basically, taas lang at yung pinaka-successful reform that we pushed before was on excise taxes on tobacco products.
Okay. So, ikaw pala reason bakit hindi na ako nag-yoyosi ngayon.
Hindi ako yung reason.
Okay.
Pero we heavily pushed for, to increase. Kasi ano na siya, may initial increase na nung 2012. Hindi pa ako nag-work nun. And then when I started working on the reform, parang we were pushing for additional increases pa. Kasi nagka-catch up yung affordability ng cigarettes sa income ng mga tao. Because hindi siya adjusted. Parang mabilis mag-catch up sa inflation, diba?
Kasi natuto ako manigarilyo nun, ganun no?
Kasi mura lang.
Parang ang Yossi dyan sa Melasal, 3 pesos lang nun eh. Hala, narinig na ako ng nanay ko. Hindi, nag-quit na ako.
I feel like pwede na i-cut yung partner.
I'm just being
hindi po naglayosi si Lance.
vulnerable here. Nag-quit na ako.
That's good. That's good. Because data and evidence also shows na parang that's one of the biggest factors. I mean, yung goal namin nun was not really yung existing smokers kasi addicted na. Parang you're already hooked. So it's kind of difficult. But what we wanted to prevent was the introduction of new smokers sa pagyoyosi. And pag younger ka, syempre, mas mababa yung capability mo to buy, di ba? So, mas price sensitive ka. So, ayun, the higher the price, the less likely the younger smokers would be enticed in buying cigarettes.
Kasi alam ko yung half pack na ng Marlboro, na agad. Trigger warning vices. Parang 30 pesos lang eh. Tapos ngayon parang almost 100 pesos na.
Yeah, masyado na ngayon sa Singapore. Parang like people bukod sa may mga designated smoking areas pero super unaffordable niya for kung chain smoker ka. Kasi parang siguro isang pack 500 pesos mahigit.
500 pesos? Like yung 20 pieces? Pero marami pa rin nag-smoke sa Singapore.
Meron pa din.
So,
meron pa din. Ayun yung sasabi. Kasi, siya, if you're already addicted to it, it's kind of difficult to wean yourself out of the habit. But at least, piniprevent mo yung mga kabataan na, ma-expose sa habit na yun. Like, from the beginning pa lang.
Totoo ba sa Singapore, pag nag-yosi ka sa hindi designated or pag dumura ka, makukulong ka?
I think may fine.
Fine lang. Kasi yung nung nagpunta kami doon, ang linis talaga eh. Pero 2015 pa ako huling nakapunta doon eh. Ang linis. Parang hindi wala akong ma-compare sa Pilipinas. Kasi BGC malinis pero mas malinis yung Singapore eh.
Yeah, I would say so as well. Kasi sila like I think the urban planning talaga nung city is gusto nila garden city siya. So there's a lot of green spaces and yung public transportation is very parang convenient for people din. So hindi masyado nagda-drive yung mga tao. Bukod sa mahal din mag-drive or mahal din mag-grab. Mahal din naman mag-grab dito actually sa Pilipinas. Pero wala ka kasing ibang option. But if you have other viable modes of transportation, wouldn't you rather, di ba, mag-mass transport ka na lang?
Kasi sa Pilipinas, parang mas madaling maka-acquire ng vehicle, mag-loan ka lang. Pero sa Singapore, parang nakita ko, pero Facebook lang eh. Yung may tax sa car, tapos kailangan may parking space ka. Tapos after 5 years,
maraming requirements, for you to actually even like own a vehicle. And to buy a vehicle, marami kang kailangang parang ibigay na evidence to support na you can afford to drive this vehicle, parang yun nga, kailangan may parking space ka and all. Kaya nga parang may malaking push sila nun on parang electric vehicles. And sabi ko, parang people would not even drive cars. Parang I don't get it. Parang
kasi pag ba Singapore, ang liit lang niya na nation, tapos kung pwede mo na i-bike or i-train, 'di ba?
Mostly when I was there, lang ako, train or bus. May bikes din sila. Pero madalang ako mag-grab.
Kasi dito sa Pilipinas, kahit parang siya, car-centric na country.
Yun
or
nga, sa
metro
urban spaces siya. Nalala ko, may forum ako na inattenda nun. Parang governor siya ng Malaysia. And then they were making this huge push for mass transit. Parang promoting less car-centric society. And then I was asking, like, what's the key to that kind of development? And then sabi niya, sorry, bench boring na ba yung topic natin? Pero sabi niya, interesting kasi for me. Sabi niya, it's not about sa cars or preventing the flow of cars. It's about the urban planning, the design of the city. So, alam mo, para mapipredict mo kung saan magkakaroon ng like huge traffic flow. So, may zoning, diba? And hindi magkakaroon ng, ayun nga, parang hindi ma-overwhelm yung isang street because nilagay mo yung parang residential areas in one area, nilagay mo yung commercial places in one area na hindi siya magbubuhol-buhol. So, pag nagpunta ka ng Singapore, ganun din siya. Lahat ng residential areas na nasa specific location and then yung mga yung mga commercial areas nasa specific location. So, hindi sila magta-traffic ng super lala dahil okay yung zoning, okay yung urban planning nila.
Dito kasi sa Pilipinas, walang ganun parang halo-halo lahat Kaya, halimbawa, pag residential, galing tayong BGC kanina, residential area and business. Dito, residential, school, etc., diba? Tsaka yung yung sabi mong urban planning, halimbawa, Intramuros, diba? Made siya for Kalesa, kaya, siya, conducive siya for ganong kind of walking. And halimbawa, yung mga cities sa Europe, made for Kalesa rin and walking, di ba? Kaya yung mga car, hindi masyadong makakapasok, more on commute, I guess.
Tapos, yun nga, kung car-centric nga yung inisip mo, parang you need to build more roads, ganyan. Imbes na isipin mo, how do we transport more people using less spaces? Doon mo maano yung, parang mariresolve yung traffic issue. How, kasi hindi ka pwedeng mag-impose ng kung ano-anong, like, ano man tawag doon, yung coding, whatever, and then expecting that, this will lessen the traffic. Kasi, people will need to travel. So, bibili lang sila ng panibagong car, diba? So, imbis na you provide other viable alternatives, sabihin natin, mas maganda yung train system, for example, or mas maayos yung bus system, then they would choose those other viable alternatives. Parang hindi ka pwede mag-introduce ng regulatory policy without considering ano yung alternative ng mga tao, saan sila mag-shift. Otherwise, hindi mo mariresolve yung policy issue.
Para kasing chicken and egg problem yun yung pag yung sinabi mong ang imposition is yung mga coding. Kasi bibili nga lang din ng ibang cars,
lahat ng kilala ko ganun. Pero if you can afford, and hindi naman ganun kahirap mag-purchase ng vehicle sa
Pilipinas. Tsaka anti-poor yun. Ang mangyayari, punished lang yung less fortunate. Pag kaya mo bumili ng car, di bili ka 5, para wala talagang coding.
Yeah, and it doesn't solve the traffic situation. It just worsens it. Diba? Kasi ngayon, magta-travel pa rin sila. So, yun, yung natutunan ko sa Singapore, yung pag-craft nila ng policy, it's very user-oriented. Ano ba yun? So, yung experience nung
user-friendly, ganun? Hindi, parang pangit yun.
Yung ng policy mo, hindi lang siya punitive. Diba? Meron kang, yung magiging reaction ng mga tao. And then, ayun, so, they're more inclined to parang look at the potential scenarios that will be born out of the regulations that you introduce. Hindi lang siya, gawin natin to kasi.
Tama. Oo, yung punitive yung sinabi mo. Kasi ang nangyayari, ba, magkakaroon ng policy na bago. Usually, bawal ganto, bawal ganyan.
Oo, bawal yan.
Tapos mangyayari, nagiging avenue pa siya for corruption by mga traffic enforcer. Gagamitin siyang money-making scheme na, oy, bawal tumawid dito, coding ngayon. Whereas, yung sabi mo, user-friendly, halimbawa, gagamitin natin yung roads na to na easy for pedestrians mag-access, mga ganon. Oo nga, no?
Ano siya, several steps forward. Parang forward thinking. Ano yung magiging impact nung policy mo dun sa tao, and then ano yung magiging decision making niya, parang points niya because of that new policy, diba? I mean, it's very easy to arrive at the conclusion na kung may sasakyan ako, tas may coding, bibili ako ng panibagong sasakyan kung afford ko naman.
Para siyang band-aid solution eh. Pero feel ko kaya band-aid solution sa Pilipinas kasi laging may 3 to 6 years na inaabangan yung mga nakaupo 'di ba? So, kung titingin ka ng long-term solution, merong birth pains 'di ba? In terms of policy.
Tapos hindi ka na, you can't even claim parang ownership of that policy kasi
diba?
Wala ka na sa position by the time the benefits are actually showing, diba?
Kasi paano kung 'di ba? Tama ka, forward thinking, no? What if the leader thinks in decades, 'di ba? So, kailangan ayusin natin 'to para yung future generations, it will not require a car. Pero ang mangyayari doon, ilang years na magiging hassle siya daanan.
Ganun man talaga. Parang may in every policy solution, I think there are birth pains. And may kaya kailangan mo ng political will to be able to push through that. Now, of course, it's gonna be challenging at first, but eventually, diba, it's going to resolve the core issues. Otherwise, if you just keep on slapping the band-aid, it's gonna work in the short term. Tapos, it's gonna create more problems in the long term.
So, di ba nung college ka, sabi mo na-mention mo, may banda ka.
Hindi college yun. Post-college na yun.
Ganon? Working ka na nun?
Literal, nag-start kami mga 2017 na yata.
Ang galing, no? Naging political, no? Everything is political.
Of course.
Pero anyway, back to your band. Paano ka nakapag-form ng band? Kasi na-mention ni Charlene, may band ka. Tapos, nung papunta tayo dito, pinakinggan natin yung, name ng band mo?
Alarma.
Alarma, okay.
Siya, parang passion project lang namin. May friend kasi ako, tapos feminist circles. So, we work together, activist work kami. And then, na-mention lang niya na yung partner niya is looking for a vocalist dun sa band that they want to...
Partner like business partner?
Like boyfriend niya.
Boyfriend, okay. Okay.
Sorry sanay na ako na partner yung ginagamit na term. So, ayun. So, parang hindi business partner.
Love partner.
Life
partner, okay.
So, sabi niya, ayun, so naghanap sila ng vocalist and then sinuggest ko ikaw kasi alam ko na mahilig ka kumanta. Literally, I'm not, hindi ako exposed sa scene na yon.
Pero
kumakanta lang ako sa shower, gano'n.
Hindi ka nag-workshop nung bata ka, nung
siguro nung high school,
play, gano'n.
College, high school, high school ako nun. Nagko-choir ako.
Okay.
Ayun.
So, ba't ka nayaya? Kasi parang wala kang background sa scene, gano'n.
Hindi ko rin alam eh. Siguro one time nag-karaoke lang kami. Ay, magaling ako kanta.
Okay.
Why not? Ganyan.
Okay.
So, I feel like, ayun yung reason. And then, we got together, tas, mahilig rin kasi ako magsulat. So, I also wrote some songs for the band. Tas, nag-guitar ako. So, ayun, parang it all sort of fell into place. And then, nag-start kami mag-gig sa kung saan-saan. Usually sa, Taong Bayan, Conspiracy Garden Cafe, saan pa ba kami nag-gig? What would you call those places?
Underground scene?
Parang mga bars, parang mga tambayan.
Parang sa Giho, gano'n?
Oo, mga ganyan.
Okay.
So, ayun. So, nagpa-play lang kami doon. Tapos, dahil nga, it was really fun for us to do. nag-decide rin kami na mag-record ng mga songs. And then, I think, yung pinaka high point for us, ako personally, ewan ko sa bandmates ko, but for me, yung high point is when we played sa UP Fair noong kailan ba yun? 2018 or 2019 yata? I'm not sure.
Okay, so ano ka na, matagal ka na nag-work nun, nung time na yun?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, funny nga kasi naalala ko nung time na yun, kamilig ako mag-bike. So, bike to work ako. Tapos, naka-foldable bike pa ako nun.
2018, nagbabike to work ka na. Before it was cool nung pandemic.
Kasi, siya, parang extra exercise din, diba? Tapos, rin ako, parang may fitness phase din ako nun.
Okay.
Well, hanggang ngayon pa rin naman. Pero mas grabe kasi nung time na yun. So, feeling ko, pag nag-bike ako, extra calories burned. So, pag pupunta ako ng office, dala ko pa yung guitar ko kasi sa gabi, may gig ka.
So, wait, nagbabike ka, tapos may guitar? Wow.
Tapos, babike ako. Tapos yung bike ko,
parang
alam ni Sharto, yung bike ko nung time na yun.
Quintessential millennial rockstar girl.
Hindi ko naisip yun pero wala, yun lang, that's what happened because of the circumstances. Naka-folding bike pa ako na ang liit-liit ng gulong. So, ang extra pedal yung kailangan mong gawin para ka makarating sa malalayong lugar.
Para kang girl next door na yung office mate na yung sa 500 Days of Summer. Ganun.
Ganun ba? Pero I was not trying to be quirky.
Just being yourself.
Just being myself.
Bago pa maging sikat sina Zoe Deschanel.
Tapos, ayun, efficient means of transport. Balik na tayo sa transportation. Kasi traffic, di ba? So, pag nakabike ka, mas madaling makarating sa kung saan-saan. Yun na lang, pag na-flatan ka, yun yung mahirap.
Tapos may guitar ka. Anong guitar mo? Ukulele or full-size guitar?
Full-size acoustic guitar.
Acoustic guitar. Wait, so nag-guitar ka and kumakanta sa gig. Tapos ilan kayo sa band?
Yung core members, 3 kami.
Okay.
Pero lahat kasi kami gitarista.
Paano yung drums? Na rin kami
so, ang dami naming mga drummer na dumaan.
May sessionist kayo na drummer?
Ganon,
tapos
iba-iba.
bassist din? May sessionist kayo na bassist?
Meron din. Pero parehas din sila marunong mag-bass eh.
Okay. So, pag nag-gig kayo, alam ba nung UP Fair, paano yung line-up nyo nun?
What do you mean?
Line-up, like...
may kami nun, may drummer kami. And then, parehas silang guitar. Tapos, I think yung isa nagbe-bass and then ako yung vocalist,
tapos ikaw,
guitar.
vocalist and guitar. Wow! Pwede
Fun
ba
siya.
mag-sample?
Ano mo na lang? Link mo na lang yung Spotify.
Sige, play natin. Tapos, sayang nga dapat pala nagdala ako ng guitar.
Nag-guitar ka rin ba?
Oo.
Diba? Ayun yung yun yung, tawag nila doon? Parang, Pinoy stereotype sa atin sa ibang bansa. Lahat daw ng Pinoy marunong mag-guitar at marunong kumanta.
Wala. Part ako ng stereotype. Pero yun nga nung pandemic.
Sabi mo, di ba, nag-band rin kayo before?
Oo, kami ni AJ. Kasi ako napakarami ko na naging face sa life. Si AJ, friend ko siya since grade school.
Wow.
So, Ragnarok face, yung RPG games, band face. So, nagba-battle of the bands kami nun. Yung band namin. Sa school.
Tapos emo-emo pa kayo.
Yung ganun, yung long hair na...
Same generation kasi. Maraming ang mga battle of the bands na. Tapos mga screamo pa yung mga
tapos
songs nila.
yung style namin, 3 lang kami. Para kaming Green Day or Hilera, ganun yung style na parang punk na
okay.
Guitar power chords na
okay.
lead. Tapos si AJ bass, tapos yung isang friend, si Teo, na naging guest ko na rin sa podcast, drummer. Ilang minutes na tayo?
35.
34 minutes na? Oh my God. Nagtagal tayo sa transpo, no?
Kasi yun parang core issue nating mga Pilipino.
I think yun yung yung pag na-resolve natin yung transportation issue, parang ang laki nang i-improve natin as a nation eh.
Totoo yan. Na-realize ko, kasi nga, living in both Singapore and Beijing, the transportation system nila doon, talagang designed for mass transit. Hindi siya pang like individual people. Kasi nga, marami yung population. So, malaki yung trains, malaki yung platforms, and it goes to virtually everywhere, diba? Parang every part of the country.
Parang designed yung Pilipinas kasi for individual car transport
sa atin, pero yung train natin, like within Metro Manila lang, di ba? I mean, although may mga upcoming yata ng mga projects that nadadaan ng Naiya, tapos abot ng Bulacan. I don't know, nakita ko lang online.
Oh, pero ang tagal pa nun eh. So, hindi natin alam. Oo.
Isipin mo yung travel time mo, di ba? Kung galing ka, yung 2 hours, okay. I think may time na nag-travel ako from metro, from BGC to QC or something, inabot ako 3 hours, 3.5 hours dahil sa traffic. And then, naalala ko yung nag-travel ako from Beijing to Shanghai. Meron kasi silang high-speed rail. Yung meron bullet train. It took me 4 hours to go from Beijing to Shanghai. So, oh my God, kung nasa
Gano'ng kalayo ba yung Beijing?
Malayo yun. Like, dulo-dulo yun. So, like, very south yung Shanghai. Tapos, north yung Beijing.
Parang like Cebu and Manila? Or parang Baguio and Manila?
Hindi, mas malayo pa.
Mas malayo pa?
Magkaibang cities yun. Like, tingnan mo na lang sa map. Pero, hindi ko alam exactly kung ilang kilometers. Pero, ayun nga, sabi ko, habang nakaupo ako sa traffic, parang, kung nasa China ako ngayon, naka-high-speed rail ako. Nakarating na ako sa Shanghai. Beijing to Shanghai. Kasi halos 4 hours, nas nakaupo ka lang sa biyahe. Imagine the amount of productivity.
Kaya nga eh.
And mga I don't know, activities that you'll be able to do if you're not stuck in traffic.
Oo. Kaya nga gusto kong makahelp dun sa stuck in traffic by creating a podcast. Para pag bored sila sa traffic, di parang may
mapag-reflect sila,
may kabanding sila, si Lance, si Carla, sina Charlene,
tama naman.
Mga dormmates ko.
Tama naman. Oo nga, pag stuck din ako, nakikinig din ako sa mga podcast.
So yan, kung may mas stuck ka ulit, pwede ka makinig sa sarili mong voice na nagsasalit. Sobrang meta no?
Pero full disclosure, I don't like hearing the sound of my own voice.
Alam mo, ganyan din ako. Kasi ako yung nag-e-edit nitong podcast. Hanggang ngayon, naiilang pa rin ako sa sarili kong boses.
Diba?
Pero parang sa ginagawa mo yon, titiisin mo lang yung yung awkward feeling. Kasi iba raw yung how you hear yourself sa actual voice.
Tama. Kasi nakadikit yung tenga mo sa ulo mo, which is kung saan nanggagaling yung boses. And then yung other people, diba, mas malayo sila. So, hindi nila naririnig yung, I don't know, kung ano man yung naririnig mo sa sarili mong skull.
Pero, mas accurate yung kung ano yung maririnig mo sa, kaya ang awkward, yung sa recorded.
Sa recording.
Yun yung mas close to reality na boses mo. Kesa kung ano yung naririnig mo when you're talking.
Tama. I think I prefer hearing my own voice when I'm talking versus pag sa recording.
Oo. Paano kung yung mga songs mo, di ba?
Ayun na nga eh. So,
naiilang ka ba? Kanina nung nagda-drive, nailang ka bang narinig?
Of course, pero ano ba yun? Ano siya eh? Tawag dito. Iba yung experience ko of it versus sa experience nung mga tao of it. Naalala ko, may isa kaming gig and then I mentioned na, natutuwa ako na I'm able to write songs and then parang nakikinig yung mga tao and then hindi mo kasi alam kung paano, ano yung meaning nung song na yun sa kanila versus yung meaning that you originally had created for it. Diba? So, I think that's what art is about. It's always participatory na yung meaning creation, it's not just coming from you, it's also coming from your audience. If they feel something na mas related sa kanila, yun na yung meaning ng song na yun. Wala ka nang control over it kasi you put it out to the world. I think yun yung beauty ng being able to express your art kasi you participate in parang creating meaning for other people.
Tapos parang alam mo yung parang concept of collective consciousness ng mga tao. Na yung art na pinroduce mo, pwede siyang gawin din ng iba kung in-answer nila yung calling na yun to write that specific piece.
If it made you feel something.
So parang in the ether, it's calling out to be created. Tapos ikaw yung ikaw yung nag-knock sa'yo yung idea na yon. It's up to you to answer and to open that idea na ikaw yung maging output nun sa mundo.
Ang ganda, no? Actually, related to that, pinagtatanto ko rin to kanina habang ano ba ginawa ko? Habang nagkakape.
Okay.
May isa akong favorite quote from Carl Sagan.
Okay.
And it's something like, we are made out of stardust. and we are a means for the universe to experience itself.
Oo.
And matagal ko na siyang parang pinag-iisipan, and I'm like, oo nga, like, if you feel like you're a separate entity from the universe, parang you're fooling yourself. Because I feel like collective consciousness yan, diba? Na parang my life and what I'm doing with my life is a way for the universe, and we're all part of it, to sort of experience life, to experience itself. So, wala lang. So, it's a means for me to be like, okay, kailangan ko enjoy ko yung life ko kasi this is a way, parang yung part na to ng universe is trying to enjoy itself.
Parang you let your life flow. You just answer what your intuition is telling you, diba?
Yeah.
And at the same time, going back to your songs, diba? Pwedeng when you were creating it, ito yung meaning sa'yo. Pero nagkakaroon na siya ng sariling life form.
Yeah, exactly.
Kapag na-experience na
ng
siya.
ibang tao.
Diba?
Kasi sa kanila, iba yung huhugutan nila nung meaning na pinoproject nila sa song na yon. So, it's cool. It's really cool.
Ang galing nga eh.
Diba?
Kaya naisip ko, halimbawa, the better the artist becomes, mas na-channel niya kung ano yung tinatawag sa kanya ng ng creativity or kung ano yung ideas ng universe. Tapos parang mas magaling na siya na mas malakas na yung signal niya. Tapos mas na-channel niya kaya mas nakaka-relate na yung mga tao, mas na-enjoy na.
That's a good way of putting it as well. And side note lang, the reason why I thought of it that way kasi may period na pag nagpe-play kami ng mga songs, na-awkward pa ako, parang I feel really cringy yung songs na to, ginawa ko to kasi I was thinking of a particular person or may na-experience ako specific sa life ko. And then, I'm afraid to be vulnerable in front of other people. Tapos parang, may scrutinize nila yung life ko because they hear the song lyrics, ito yung nangyari sa akin, ganyan. And then, it dawned on me na, actually, their experience of it is completely different from my experience of it. Hindi naman nila alam yung story behind it, diba? So, sa kanila, receiver sila, and then, they use the clay of their own life to sort of find meaning in that song. So, it's completely divorced from me. Not completely divorced, but like, I shouldn't feel awkward about it. Kasi, hindi naman kami parehas ng interpretation of it.
Tsaka baka kaya naisip mong cringy, hindi pa siya authentic enough. Kasi parang may nabasa ako, yung pinaka-list na cringy thing daw is authenticity. And the more na maging authentic ka and vulnerable, yung ma-channel mo yung through authenticity, less cringy siya.
Tsaka actually, okay lang naman maging cringe. It's fine. Actually, so, ano mga napapanood mga videos, yung mga...
ako, cringe ako, sabi ni AJ. Which is okay lang naman.
Okay, what's wrong with being cringy? So, lang what's wrong with being cringy? It just means that you're being authentic. Diba? Parang, ayoko yung mga nonchalant, na parang, you're experiencing life. And if for you to be able to live your most authentic life, may mga bagay talaga na, alam mo yun, hindi nagagawin mo na that will make you cringe. And I think it's also a sign of growth. Na parang looking back, ba't ko ginagawa yung mga bagay na to? Tapos ngayon, iba na yung, parang you're differently aligned now. And then, ayun, so it's okay.
Saka I guess pag may mga tao nakikringe, siguro it speaks more about them than about you, I guess.
That's also true. Baka they're afraid to be vulnerable nga. They're afraid to show their real selves. Kaya parang, nonchalant lang ako, ganyan.
Galing nga eh. Naalala ko tuloy yung may interview si Ed Sheeran. Yung mga unang niyang songs daw, sobrang cringe. Pero para raw yan yung yung faucet, pag binuksan mo na matagal nang hindi nabuksan, parang mud daw yung unang pero kailangan hayaan mo lang bukas yung faucet, tapos dun pupunta dun na lalabas yung clear na water, something like that. Kaya gawa lang siya ng gawa ng songs.
Tama naman yun.
Siguro pag more songs ka lalo, mas magiging catchy lalo.
I don't know about that. Pero may nagkukantuhan namin ng bandmates ko. We recently met up. Yung last namin na gig or recording was 2019 pa, pre-pandemic pa.
6 years ago.
I know, that's correct. Pero in touch pa rin kami and then we still play together. And sabi na, wala ka masusulat na bago dyan. Sabi ko, wala na kasi healthy na yung relationship ko. Parang ano pala siya, nanggagaling pala siya sa mga angsty experiences ko. Eh ngayon, parang super secure na ako and all. So, wala na ako sinusulat na angsty angsty love songs.
Ba't kaya ganun, no? Yung mga pinaka-catchy na songs, laging about heartbreak, no?
Siguro you connect with the deepest parang parts of you na yun nga, na vulnerable and then ewan ko, parang it just resonates more with a lot of people, I guess. Kesa yung parang happy ka all the time and all. It doesn't really resonate with a lot of people.
Or pag happy ka kasi hindi mo na maiisip gumawa ng song no? Kasi
Totoo.
happy ka lang
Happy ka lang. You're just living your life. Hindi mo na siya kailangan i-release. Diba? Yun eh. Kasi ako, nagsusulat ako, songs, poetry, artwork, I express it. Kasi kailangan ko siyang ilabas. Para hindi siya yung angst and whatever you're feeling na negative. It doesn't stay in your body. So parang you put it out, separate mo siya from yourself. Diba? So, bakit ganun siya?
Parang na-observe ko sa sinabi mo, parang so far, yung mga ginagawa mo sa buhay, aligned sa mga gusto mo talaga. Like, debate, tapos yung band. Pero sa work ba, ano ba yung naging after NGO? Pwede mo ba i-share yung next to work after NGO?
Ay, work kami ni Shar. Nag-government kami.
Okay.
So, I was working in NEDA. And then, it was unexpected also. But I felt like...
Paano ka naging, napunta sa NEDA from your NGO work?
Through, connected pa rin siya actually. Kasi like, the network and all. So, I got recruited because I was part of this network. And then, I said yes kasi, parang mas na-feel ko yung weight of, I need to do something for the country. Wow! Kasi
para sa bayan.
Para sa bayan kasi pandemic. And like, how can I help? And I want to do more. I want to be able to do more. And I feel like being in a position of, being a frontliner, being part of government, will allow me to be able to do more. Kesa if nasa CSO ako, tas, di ba, limited lang din kasi you're a civilian basically. And then, hindi ka online lahat ng mga gagawin mong work. Kami doon, parang we showed up to the office every day kahit na it was in the middle of the pandemic. Tas may mga, it was, di ba, parang such a different time. May mga roadblocks, may mga military roadblocks. And then, we still had to go to the office. And
nakabike ka nun?
May point na nagbabike to office ako. Which was really fun. Kasi, hindi na ako naka-foldy bike noon. Yung full, na siya, naka-live bike na ako.
Wow, live.
And then,
road bike?
Hybrid bike siya.
Okay.
So, pwedeng road to, to trail. So, mas masagay na mag-bike and then walang mga cars. So, from, New Manila pa yata ako nakatira.
Wow, New Manila
to Ortigas.
Social.
Hindi kung kondo-kondo lang doon. Malapit sa Rob Magnolia. Okay. So, yun, naging, naman siya. It was a very tough, but how would I call it? Yung experience allowed me to grow a lot as a person kasi super challenging niya. And then ayun, I needed to step up kasi nga I wanted to do more. I wanted to do more for the country and I had to really get out of my comfort zone.
So far ba yun yung pinaka-challenging mong naging role?
I would say so. But I'm confident to say na there will be tougher roles. And, but it helped me, because of that experience, parang, nagkaroon ako ng believe sa sarili ko na whatever tough roles or challenges I will be faced with, I'll be able to confront it.
Ano yung most memorable, happy memory mo sa NEDA?
Biking. So, ayun nga, may phase kami lahat na we were all into biking. Pati yung boss namin.
Pati si Charlene
nag-bike. Pati si Char nag-bike, diba? So, we were all into biking. So, there will be times na we all bike together.
Pati yung pinaka-boss nyo, nagbabike din.
Yeah. He was a big advocate of active transport at the time. Sana nga natuloy-tuloy yung ano eh. Kaso I think nung nag-back to normal na after pandemic, hindi na ganun ka laki yung support for active transport, 'di ba? 'Di ba nagkaroon ng mga bike lanes during
Nawala na
pandemic?
yung mga bike lanes eh.
'Di ba? So sayang kasi that would have, I think that's one thing that would really have helped ease the traffic.
Totoo.
Because people would just mas less yung space na ino-occupy niya if you're a biker.
Feel ko pag nagkaroon lang ng proper na mga daans for daans.
Daans?
Nagkaroon ng
You're
proper
so funny, oh.
nagkaroon ng
Lumalabas yung Lasal.
yung yung Taglish na na hindi ayoko nang i-bash sarili ko nga na school. So, yun nga, pag gumanda na yung daan, pwede naman kahit sa tropical country, tapos, siya, malamig yung, cool yung daan. I mean, yung may mga shade, ganon. Pero, as both biker and driver, parang, ang hirap mag-share the road. Kasi, annoying both. Pag driver ako, annoyed ako sa bikes.
Pag biker ka, annoyed ka sa driver.
So, yung concept of share the road, siguro okay lang yung kung talagang properly
may dedicated bike lanes.
dedicated.
Na hindi ka pwedeng mag-swerve inside the bike lane.
Kasi nag-aagawan yung car tsaka yung bike.
Ako naman, ang kinainisan ko, yung mga motorcycle. Kasi pumapasok sila sa bike lane. And then, di ba, it makes it really unsafe. Kasi mabilis sila mag-drive. And then, biker ka. So, kailangan mo umiwas din.
Ayun.
Pero kung merong barrier siguro, safer for both.
Kasi yung pinaka-hate ko talaga ayoko na yung Pero anyway, maganda yung concept na share the road na lang.
Tama.
Ayun.
Hashtag share the road.
Share the road. So after NEDA, ano yung ginawa mo? Kasi parang naalala ko, ilang years ka sa NEDA?
2 years?
2 years. So, after NEDA, ano yung ginawa mo na?
Sakto na parang nag-end yung administration, nag-end yung term namin sa office. I got an offer from school sa Singapore to do my master's in public policy. Na, side note, second time kong nag-apply. Yung first time ko nag-apply was back in 2019 and then I didn't get in.
Same course?
Same course.
Okay.
Tapos, parang in hindsight, parang talaga timing is everything. Kasi if I ended up getting that offer noong 2019, the following year, COVID.
So, parang online class ka sana.
That would have been, maraming naka-experience na nag-lockdown sa Singapore. So, online yung class nila. They didn't have hindi sila nakapag-ikot-ikot or anything. Tapos, I wouldn't have had the government experience that I did kung saan ko na-meet si Shar and a lot of, yung...
Wala ka sa podcast na to ngayon.
Wala ka sa podcast. Like butterfly effect, diba? And then I wouldn't have had the growth that I did if without that experience that I had. So, in hindsight, it was perfect timing na hindi ako natanggap. And then yung second time ako nag-apply, natanggap ako. And then everything else sort of like aligned after that. Kasi saktong-sakto, parang patapos na kami ng June or July and then semester would start ng August.
So wala kang bakasyon, diretso ka na aral.
Nagbakasyon tayo, diba? Ano pa tayo nun?
Masungi.
Masungi.
Ayun.
Ayun na yung bakasyon ko nun. Climb.
Nice. Tapos nung after ng NEDA, lumipat ka na sa Singapore. Ano yun, like,
diretso na siya.
Full scholar yun?
Full scholarship.
Wow, galing So, halimbawa, merong mga listener tayo na yun yung, kasi 28 to 35 yung age range tsaka mga friends ko Paano interested din sila mag-masters? Ano yung mga maganda unang gawin? Kung abroad yung masters.
Kung abroad, just apply for everything. Alam mo yun yung, meron akong prof, may he rest in peace, na he was the one who really encouraged me to apply for top universities. Kasi parang naalala ko before, nag-ano ako sa kanya, humingi sa kanya ng recommendation letter for this random university. Sabi niya, bakit ka dito? Bakit di mo i-try sa, like, itong mga schools na ganyan? Parang kaya mo naman, blah, blah, blah. But I realized I didn't trust myself enough to even put my hat in the ring. And yung advice ko sa mga tao na parang, if you're thinking about doing something, parang don't sell yourself short. Kailangan mo ng matinding self-confidence na parang, just put your hat in the ring, diba? Just try. Kasi may mga bagay na hindi mo inaakala. You're qualified pala, pero sinesecond guess mo yung sarili mo, or meron kang imposter syndrome na, ay hindi ako pang ganyan. Pero itry mo lang, diba? And then, you'll be surprised. And same thing, yung sa experience ko na yan. Parang, I didn't think several years back, I would have applied for NUS. Kasi feeling ko, top university siya in Asia.
Hindi ba sa world, hindi, sa buong Asia, no?
Top 1 siya in Asia, top 8 siya in the world.
Wow.
So, I wouldn't, parang, not even in my dreams. I didn't think that highly of myself. Tas because of yung encouragement ng prof ko na yun. And also, other people in my life. May mga former colleagues din ako na, you should apply. Kasi nag-apply sila and then they got in. And then, ayun. So, pikit mata na lang na, sige na nga, I'll do it. Parang kahit na I don't trust myself or I don't believe in myself enough. And then, eventually, it happened. Wow. So, may mga ganung bagay. Minsan, feeling mo you're not good enough for it. But, minsan, ayun, you just need to overcome that thought. And then, you'll be surprised. Kaya mo naman pala. And you're qualified naman pala for these things. It's just that you're limiting your options. Kasi feeling mo you're not, you don't deserve it, or feeling mo you're not good enough for it. But let the world decide, di ba?
Tama.
Let the world decide whether or not you're good for it. Ikaw, dapat paniwalaan mo yung sarili mo that you're good enough for it.
Amen. Tama, Parang sabi nga nung favorite kong rapper, believe in yourself before they believe in you. Si Wayan. Tsaka si anyway, si Kanye din, di ba, ganon?
Tama. Malaking bagay siya, actually.
Oo. Kasi di ba, sino ba yung magiging number one fan mo? Siyempre yung sarili mo muna, di ba?
That's true. That's so true. And yun din yung learning ko about everything, hindi lang sa master's degree, no. Kasi ako, like sa relationship ko with my boyfriend.
Allowed bang i-share yung
why not? Okay naman. Parang okay, may mga bagay na pinupush niya ako na gawin. Parang, why don't you apply for this? Why don't you do that? Ganyan. Tapos parang ako, na-realize ko, the reason why I don't do things, because I'm afraid. I don't trust myself enough na if something goes wrong, I'll be able to handle the fallout. Parang natatakot ako na kasi ako, parang gusto ko planado muna lahat. Parang I know plan A, plan B, plan C, anong contingency, anong mangyari, ganyan. Kailangan everything is predictable. Siya hindi siya gano'n. Parang okay lang sa kanya na to go in without a plan. Let's see what happens and then let's decide from there. And na-realize ko, it stems from yung trust niya sa sarili niya na I can handle it if things go wrong. Diba? Kasi kung na-realize ko, kaya ako over-planner. Kasi natatakot ako na pag nandun ako sa point na it goes wrong, I will not be able to fix it.
So parang inuunahan mo na yung mga mangyaring masama, pine-prepare mo muna sa sarili mo na am I capable, am I worthy to handle this once everything goes wrong.
Yun nga. So, kaya ako, parang na-reflect ko na mayroon akong sense na I don't think I'll be able to handle it. So, ngayon pa lang, I'm already gonna plan for potential failure. Which is not wrong in itself. Pero, mas marami ka kasing magagawang bagay if you're more, you trust that you're capable enough to handle whatever goes your way. Parang mas mataas yung threshold mo for uncertainties, for uncomfortable situations, and usually doon yung malaki yung payoff. Diba? If you take bigger risks.
Ang higher the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. Ganon.
Kung takot ka, you're not even going to parang take that risk. Kasi baka hindi ko ma-handle, ganyan. Then you'll never take the leap. You'll never take action, and then you'll always be stuck wherever you are.
Parang siguro nangyari tuloy sa'yo, mas nabawasan yung mga what ifs mo sa life.
Definitely. Kasi parang, oh, gawin ko yan kasi I need to constantly hype myself up na kaya ko tong i-resolve, 'di ba? And yung pinag-usapan natin kanina, it's also a huge thing to have a partner in life na alam mo na will be there to support you if things don't go according to plan.
Ano yan, romantic partner yan,
romantic or pwede ring friends. I also have a lot of long-term friends na since high school, college, kilala ko. Pero number one supporter ko sila forever. So it helps, it motivates you to push further when the going gets tough, diba? Kasi alam mo na, they'll always be there to catch you when you fall.
Saka yung sinabi mo, di ba, you believe first in yourself. Parang pag na-believe ka sa sarili mo, parang ma-attract mo rin yung people that have the same interests or the same beliefs. Or,
that's true.
Tapos mangyayari, nagiging support system nyo yung each other.
Yeah, definitely. Like, ako, yung mga friends ko din, I try to be that person for them as well. Na parang pag dinadoubt nila na, kaya ko ba to? Mag-apply ba ako sa ganito, ganyan? Sabi ko, oo naman, of course. Lalo na, I can
just
always,
do it.
I can always parang point back to my own experience na, ako, I also doubted myself, pero nakita mo naman, I was able to do it. You'll be able to do it even better.
Wow. Pero halimbawa, di ba, nung nakapasok ka na sa NUS, how was it? In-expect mo ba, was it easier than expected or harder than expected?
Ang lagi ko sasabi, even sa mga new students, kasi may mga Pinoy students din na nag-reach out.
Parang may community kayo doon ng Pinoy.
You get out of it what you intend to get out of it. So if you want a very rigorous academic experience, you'll be able to get that if that's what you want to get out of it. If you want a huge networking and a lot of engagement with diverse groups of people, you'll also be able to get out of it yung bagay na yun. But you need to be intentional. Kasi masters is very independent eh. Parang you'll learn as much as you're willing to learn. Parang ganon. So sa akin nun, I was tawag dito, serious about pursuing the academic side of it, but I knew from the get-go na I wanted to meet a lot of new people. I want to use it as an opportunity to travel and be exposed to different countries. So that's what I did. So I pursued nag-ano rin ako student exchange program.
Wait, so parang exchange student ka na, pero I mean parang foreign student ka na, pwede ka pa mag-exchange program?
Yeah.
Okay.
So nag-exchange student ako sa Seoul National University. So for 5 months, I lived in Korea without speaking any Korean aside from kung ano naririnig ko sa K-drama.
So 5 months ka nasa Seoul? Wow! Anong months yan? Malamig?
Malamig.
Wow!
August to December.
Alam mo yung Seoul, nung nagpunta ako, unexpected siya kasi wala akong expectations. Ang ganda pala doon sa Seoul.
Yeah. Tapos sarap ng food and then ang dami mga places to go. Kasi nga, if 1 year ako sa Singapore, 1.5 year ako sa Singapore, syempre naikot mo na lahat. Maliit lang naman siya na country and city. So, it was a very good timing na second or third semester ko, nag-exchange ako sa Korea. And then I was able to travel, explore. Pero ano ba rin, parang I was still taking my studies seriously. But maybe, ano yan, yung with openness to other experiences other than the academic side of it. So, you need to be intentional.
Paano yung difference ng, syempre mag-a-adjust ka sa crowd, di ba? Ano yung difference ng Pinoy classmates sa international classmates? Iba-iba kayo ng nationality.
I would say, marami kasing, kahit iba-iba yung nationality, siguro similar disciplines, background, parang
kaya mas madaling makipag-discuss sa kanila.
I would say so. Parang marami na coming from development sector or civil servant or government, policy-oriented rin ng mga tao. So, somehow you also speak the same language. So, may mga commonalities naman.
The language of service.
Public service.
Public service.
Tama. So, internationally, ganun din actually. yun din yung mga common points. Marami sa mga classmates ko, civil servants din sila. And meron ding mga fresh graduate from undergrad nila. So,
yung ba love life mo ngayon, classmate mo siya dati?
Hindi.
Okay.
Pero doon kami nag-meet. Schoolmate ko
schoolmate.
siya. So, he was doing a different program. Pero, parehas. Masters din. Public policy yung sa akin. Tapos sa kanya, public administration.
Okay. Hindi ko na-ask yun. Basta public service related.
Government.
So government din siya nag-work before?
Yeah.
Okay. Ang galing
Mamimit mo siya sa Sunday. So.
Talaga? Wow. Shout out, Kevin. As if nang
Sunday or Monday. Sure, hindi niyo maintindihan.
Galing Hindi ba naging challenge sa yung language na, siyempre, proficient ka man sa English, pero iba yung mga nuances ng language, di ba? Kahit pareho kay English speaker. Ano ba yung nationality niya nga pala?
Australian.
Okay, Australian.
So, definitely, alam naman niyo to, sinabi ko rin sa kanya, nung umpisa, hindi kami nagkakaintindihan.
Okay, dahil sa accent?
Oo, kasi thick yung accent niya. Tapos, I guess, may Pinoy accent din ako. So, what are you saying?
Kahit parang sa'yo, very clear na yung English. Hindi niya nagigets.
Parehas kami. Pero when you spend a lot of time with people, siguro, hindi ko alam kung nag-a-adjust ba kayo sa pronunciation ng isa't isa or yung tenga mo is nag-a-adjust dun sa pronunciation niya. So, hindi ko alam kung nagbabago ba kami ng the way we speak or yung tenga lang natin is nagiging used to that kind of enunciation. Diba?
Galing So, sabay kayong gumraduate?
Yeah, kasi 1 year lang yung course niya, pero may nag-summer semester pa siya. So, imbes na graduate siya that year, the following year siya graduate. So, sabay kami graduate.
Ano yung main difference pag Filipino yung ba yun? Self-incriminating ba yun? kung Filipino yung love life mo versus foreigner.
Kasi parang never ako nagkaroon ng serious love life na Pilipino.
So, mahirap
i-compare. But I would say, mas straightforward siguro kasi pag Pinoy, yung experience ko lang sa mga Pinoy situationship.
Oo.
Mas
parang walang DTR.
Parang hindi sila as forthcoming about ewan ko sa inyo ni Shara.
Hindi ako forthcoming person ako kaya nga may podcast confrontational ako so
diba? Yung parang may guessing game pa parang hindi sure ano ba talaga gusto nila. So ayun, or maybe it depends on the person as well. Baka yung time kasi na yun, I was also young, so yung mga nakaka-interact ako also was not in that frame of mind.
Medyo may vagueness kapag most Filipino guys. Yun nga rin, hindi, sakto yan. Kasi yung previous episode, yung si Joms, guest ko, dating coach siya, most Filipino guys daw, they don't say what they want. Yeah. So, parang nag-guess yung girl. Tapos, ang nangyayari tuloy, halimbawa, akala nung girlfriends lang. Kasi, may mga girls, friendly lang naman talaga in general. Tapos akala nung guy, binasted na sila, na friend zone na.
Pero gusto lang naman nila parang mag-build ng friendship first before like
pero ang nangyayari, akala niya nanligaw na. Halimbawa, yung guy, akala nanligaw na.
Ayan, maraming namamatay sa maling akala.
So, yung lesson siguro pag, avid listener, pag lagi nakikinig dito sa podcast, which, mga friends ko, kung may napupulot sila, nagiging mas direct to the point na siguro. Ayun.
I think in any kind of relationship, parang dapat, clear communicator ka. Diba? Clear ka sa anong gusto mo, what you wanna get out of the relationship, what kind of, dynamic you want to have. Hindi kasi siya pwedeng guessing game. Kasi as much as, hindi pa natin na-develop yung ability to read each other's minds.
Wag
Baka
naman
sometime
sana.
in the future siguro, pag may AI, na tayo, companions.
Yung yung kay Elon Musk, yung sa brain, Neuralink, narinig mo na yun?
Baka gano'n, pwede na tayo mag-ganon-ganon. Pero now,
tapos may ads.
You need to, oh my God, sa Netflix. Ano nga yung show yun?
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror, oh my God, sobrang dystopian. It's my ads.
Okay, going back.
Ayun nga, going back, kailangan mo siyang i-verbalize. Yun. So, even in our dynamics, ano siya, naging issue rin yun, parang communication, but I think the difference is, yun nga, mas may willingness to be straightforward. Walang awkwardness na, paano ko ba sabihin to? Ganyan. Like, hindi, this is how I feel. And then, let's resolve it. Or if you don't want to resolve it, edi, di ba?
Parang may quote dyan hindi ko lang alam kung sino nagsabi. Unspoken expectations lead to future resentments. Di ba? Kasi, akala nung isang person, ito yung mga kailangang expectation sa relationship.
Tama. Pero hindi kayo parehas ng pinanggagalingan. So, you have very different set of expectations. So, in any relationship, even in friendships, I think, may mga ganyan din ako experience sa friends ko na, I think you need to tell your friend what you expect from them. And then, if willing sila to meet that expectation, edi you maintain the friendship. And if they're not, edi, you need to come up with some other compromise or i-rethink mo yung relationship niyo. Diba?
I think lalo na sa adult relationships.
Yeah.
Adult, not just romantic relationships but friendships as well.
Yeah.
Kasi busy na tayong lahat.
Tama.
Kahit ako self-employed, pero may commitments ako sa aking...
May schedule ka.
May schedule
diba?
ako. So, lahat tayo may responsibilities na and commitments. Hindi yung tulad nung college or high school na yung parang, tara, dito tayo after class, di ba? Wala nang ganun
Hindi mo alam, di ba? Parang nag-cancel ka sa kanila, nagtatampo na pala sila. Kasi hindi nila sinasabi sa'yo. Diba?
So, dati kasi parang pag nag-cancel ka, wala lang.
No hard feelings.
Pero pag nag-cancel ka, it means masisira na yung schedule nung person na yun, di ba? So, they have to change their plans.
Yeah.
All because last minute nag-cancel. Ganun.
So, ang hirap maging adult, no? Parang kailangan mo ng higher emotional, ano mo tawag doon? Intelligence, EQ.
EQ and maturity, I guess.
Yeah, but it always starts with open and straightforward communications.
Totoo. Actually, yun yung one of the reasons bakit ako nag-podcast. Not, unang reason ko, what would you do if money is not an issue? Gagawa podcast. Second, I think to improve my communication skills. Yung na-publish ko by now, as recording ngayon, 20 plus episodes. Napapansin ko yung mga yung mga vagueness sa words. So I think mas naging clear na ako in terms of conversations.
Wow. I think that's a win. Whatever people take out of it, at least you took something out of this, yung effort nila, diba?
Tsaka, hindi ko alam, siguro by the end of this episode, may mga reflections yung guest na, nga no, ganito pala ako. Yung mga ganon.
Yeah, definitely. Sabi ko kasi, you shine the light on things na parang, ito pala yung perception.
Therapy pala.
Therapy pala to. May kinalaman pala yung childhood ko sa predisposition ko for like traveling to different places and being in foreign situations, diba? So,
parang sanay ka sa foreign situations, no? Tsaka yung uncertainty. Sobrang yung nasa tail end na tayo ng conversation, para nagtahi sila lahat all lahat ng actions mo, parang medyo related sa ganun facing the uncertainty. Confrontation definitely. Sa unknown, gano'n.
Kasi nga, ang biggest realization ko in life right now, in my almost 31 years of experience, age reveal, is you need to have a big appetite for uncertainty. If you want to get to the places that parang in extraordinary places. You need to have an extraordinary appetite for uncertainty. Kasi hindi lahat ng bagay kaya mong planuhin. And sometimes it's not, you get to places that you can't even fathom. Like hindi mo ma-imagine na
nasa Shanghai ka. Shanghai ka ba ngayon?
No, Beijing.
Beijing,
you wouldn't have even imagined being in this situation or being in this place. So, you can't rely on your own, parang planning. Kasi limited lang yung data mo.
Totoo.
Like, you're making your decisions based on the data that thus far you've gathered in your life. Pero marami pang mga potential outcomes na hindi mo ma-imagine or hindi mo na-explore kasi you're not open to the possibility. And so if you want to, alam mo yun, parang get to an extraordinary place beyond your imagining, dapat may willingness ka to face the uncertainties of the world.
Parang ano, if you want to be exceptional, be the exception, gano'n.
Ano mga mga soundbites.
Nag-invento So, halata no? Hindi, kasi sinasagot ko lang yung parang sinasummarize ko in quotes yung
So, I needed to learn that kasi nga gusto ko predictable yung life ko. Pero at the same time, gusto ko rin maging extraordinary. Gusto ko rin maka-experience, sabi nga, parang as the universe experiencing itself, I want to maximize that experience. And I'll only be able to do that if I open myself up to things na I would never even have planned for. So, ayun. Right now, I think I'm at that point na may mga plans ako, pero I will not be devastated if they don't happen. Kasi I know that there are possibilities that I can parang experience if I'm just open to it.
Tsaka baka lang siya, delay or not yet time for that. Parang nakwento mo na hindi ka natanggap sa NUS. Pero mas maganda pala yung magiging experience mo. May government experience ka na. Tapos nung pagdating mo doon, mas mature ka na, mas magaling ka na. Naka-live life ka pa.
Exactly.
Diba?
Totoo yun. Kasi kung pumasok ako nung mas early, hindi kami nag-meet.
Diba? So, ang galing eh. Tapos last na siguro napansin ko rin, eto, na-confirm mo lang ulit based on our conversation. Galing no? Na nabasa ko before na yung if you want yung sa exceptional area nga in life, kailangan mong gumawa ng uncertain na things, exceptional things, pero at the same time, mas maliit pala yung competition at the top. Kasi most people, they just want a mediocre life, high-paying job, na ang daming nagko-compete for that. Pero sa higher mas takot yung mga tao. Yun na lang yung parang threshold takot na lang eh. So pag nalampasan mo yung tapang niya, wow, I'm welcome pala dito sa area. Sa
Though,
room na
I wouldn't, parang sa akin din kasi, meron din akong understanding. Not everyone also has the access to the kind of experience
maganda
that we
yan.
have.
Oo. Kasi
diba?
In a way, we're privileged.
Privileged tayo. Like, we have the similar background sa education. And for, alam mo yun, parang the network that you're connected with also influences your way of thinking and yung mga opportunities that are available to you. So, if you're stuck in the same parang network, wala kang access dun sa mga, career-enhancing opportunities. Hindi mo rin mai-imagine na you'll be able to get to the top. Kasi wala kang door, wala kang ladder, wala kang any way to get there. So, ayun, I feel like to be able to, you have to approach it na this is a privilege, diba? And may mga exceptional people who are able to break those ceilings and barriers, but not everyone can do that.
Totoo.
Kaya I advocate for allowing a lot of giving access to the kind of opportunities that we have, diba?
Kaya nga maganda nga may internet na ngayon eh. Medyo
it's a great equalizer.
Equalizer siya eh.
Pero iba pa rin, parang if hindi mo siya kayang i-navigate on your own because you're also limited by your own experience, by your own network, and yun nga, sabi ko parang the data that you've thus collected that guides your decision making in life. Hindi ka rin mag-arrive at the same outcome.
Totoo. Kasi parang yung internet, andun na lahat, malilito ka rin eh. Mas malilito
paano mo siya ina-navigate?
Oo, tama. Okay, so last question na lang. Kasi yung vegan, I think maraming taong gusto rin naman maging vegan.
I thought it was gonna be a central topic actually. Hindi natin na mag-usapan masyado.
Hindi, kasi ito chat GPT eh. Mas maganda yung natural flow of conversation kung saan tayo mapunta.
Which is, ang dami nating napuntahan.
Oo nga eh. Parang
mabuti tayong outer space.
Oo nga no. Mabot din tayo ng iba-ibang transport system. Ito, question ko, what would you be doing if money were not an issue?
Oh my God.
Like, hindi siya, you can do anything you want. Hindi issue ang pera.
Travel.
Okay.
Travel everywhere. Experience everything. Actually, 13 years old pa lang ako. Meron ako parang slum book na, parang, or scrapbook yata siya na, ano yung gagawin mo 13, 10 years from now, whatever. And then, naalala ko, just looking back on it, it's to experience different cultures and to travel to every single place in the world.
Wow.
Yun yung gusto kong gawin. Na happily, I would like to tell my 13-year-old self na ginagawa ko na siya ngayon.
So, pwede mong sabihin na, Baby Carla, we've made it. Yun.
I think so. I can say that. Kasi, yun nga, parang nung time na yun, I didn't know how I was gonna get to that point. Pero, looking around, may mga ano pa rin ako. Gusto pa rin akong gawin, I guess, career-wise, mga business ventures that I want to do. May music career.
Oo nga, music career.
Pero, ayun, parang, all things considered, et ceteris paribus. Wow.
Wow.
Ano siya, nagagawa ko naman yung traveling to exotic lands and places and like getting immersed in the culture and then getting to know a diverse set of people. And it colors my life. And I feel like the universe this part of the universe that lives within me is experiencing its life to the fullest.
Wow. So I think 13-year-old Carla is proud of 30-year-old Carla. 13, hindi, gusto ko lang 30 and 13.
Oo nga, no? 13 going on 30. Di ba movie yun?
So, anyway, thank you so much, Carla. And
Of course.
Dormmates, I hope marami kayong nalaman and natutunan kay Carla. Yung mga friends ko, meet Carla, Charlene's closest friend in Ned. Oh, wow, no.
Kinlame na niya.
Kinlame mo na.
Totoo ba yun?
So, pakinggan mo ulit to, Charlene. And pag ganun kinakausap ko yung yung mga makikinig eh. So Carla, pag narinig mo to, this is past Carla. Okay, thank you Dormmates and see you sa next episode. Good night.
Good night.